The near-death experiences are interesting because of their effect on people's lives. They are life-enhancing experiences. They're enriching experiences. That's why psychologists and philosophers and sociologists are interested in them. There's no question about the fact that that's the main thrust of their importance. What they do for us in this life. They may also tell us something about the afterlife. But I wouldn't want to play that down. But the main purpose of studying these experiences is because they are life-enhancing. And so in that sense, they're not really about death.
What's had to happen is a lot of the negativity that was in my life before has had to be done away with. It became intolerable. Kind of like whatever was, the sparks that were in me meant to shine were stifled if there was like overwhelming negativity in the home. And it got to a point where I had to get divorced.
I was working at the time as an account executive for a television company, making television commercials. And I said to my boss when he came in the next day, I said, sorry, I gotta quit. I said, I can't waste my time anymore making television commercials. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I've been trained the way that I have. I said, I gotta do something that's more of societal value. And so what I did is I quit my job and I started an organization called the Gifted Children Research Institute to help locate and train gifted children, because I felt if I could find a couple of more people that were a potential Einstein or a potential Madame Curie or that sort of thing, that I would help society greatly.
I became more sensitive, maybe more aware of myself and my mistakes, also what I'm doing wrong. More responsive, maybe. And everything seems to be a little more precious somehow. I'm grateful for little things and I enjoy little things.
Now my wife still argues with me that it's always got to be my way. I mean, I think, you know, it's not like all of a sudden, you know, you come back from these things and you're a saint and, you know, you're like a Mother Teresa and you've got, you know, all this. I mean, I'm still, you know, have a temper. And I still think I'm right and all that kind of stuff. So
but as far as I'm concerned, my near-death experience was a total blessing for me to relate others who pass on, because I had been very close to my parents and was very close to my dad. And through the 8 going on 9 years that I was ill, it was very difficult for my father to see me the way I was. And he kept saying that he only lived to see me walk. Mm-hmm. And when I had my near-death experience and I walked, it made him so happy. Now, my father was never ill. About 7 months after my near-death experience, I knew that something was going to happen to him. And it kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. The day that he passed away, I was about 50 miles from him, and I kept calling constantly the whole day. Are you okay? Are you this? Are you that? Well, at 5 o'clock that afternoon, he died. It was instant. He had a massive heart attack. And I feel that if I did not have my own near-death experience, that would have affected me emotionally to an extent that I don't know if I could have. Because I had my own, I knew that he was okay.
I always look back at how I reacted to my grandmother's death, who died, you know, a few years before. You know, I really came to grips with the near-death experience, and my grandfather who died afterwards. I mean, I remember myself at my grandmother's funeral being very upset, being very angry at people for like standing out in the back and talking and laughing and stuff like that. I was ready to rip people's heads off. And some cousins came over and calmed me down. I was so angry, I was just enraged. And then at my grandfather's funeral, which was a few years after it was like, it didn't matter, because I knew that wasn't him, and that he wasn't there.
That's right.
That it was simply kind of, you got to do this for social reasons, and that it really was irrelevant. What was it was irrelevant only in terms of helping. It was relevant only in terms of helping people grieve in kind of an acceptable way.
Right.
But that, as far as his existence, it did inappropriate. I don't know how to respond to people when the loved one of theirs die. Because a friend called and said my father died. I was joking with her as soon as we got on the phone, because that's what we always do. And she says, yeah, my father died, like 2 days ago. And it was always, and like my first response, geez, that's great, wow. And he's really the guy.
Yeah,
but you can't say it on the phone. And you can't say,
it's hard.
So you go through the kind of. It's good that there are kind of acceptable ways.
Well, people miss the physical being of the person, but it helps to have this experience to relate to them that real essence of the person life that it never ends is at peace. And
there's no reason to be afraid to be dead.
The fear is simply not there.
I no longer had a fear of death.
I think that there's a great educational value to the near-death experience. I think that if these experiences are what they seem to be, the information should be promoted and spread all over the place, so we can gradually change our whole view of what death is, and gradually eliminate unnecessary death anxiety.
The big edge that the fear of death has upon you is that you don't know anything about it. Once you've done it, it's no big deal.
To let them know that it's of light and beauty and peace, and there's no pain. If there's any way I could get this across, to me, it's a journey. To me, it's a journey. It's a crossing over. It's safe. It's warm. It's free.
Don't be fearful. You live in another form, and there is beauty and harmony and perfection while here, but we can have it there. And there is absolutely nothing to be afraid of. And I think that's the message.
That there's nothing. There's no reason to be afraid, and just basically that. I mean, don't be afraid to let go.
And anyone who is very ill at this time, or going through in a hospital situation, or in a hospice situation, or sick at home, and has been told that, death is imminent. People that are facing death now, I feel something inside of them tells them it's going to be okay. If they would just stop, that it's beautiful, and just go in peace, expecting joy and love, because that's where it's at. That's what it's about.